Hello everyone, welcome to another SolidWorks tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to create this table in SolidWorks Weldment. Weldment is really interesting tool that we can use to create this type of structure very easily and efficiently. Before I start, I will show you what type of profile that I have used to build this table. For these four legs, I have used 75 by 75 solid pine square sections, and for these bearings I have used 725 by 100, and for this profile under the tabletop I have used 25 by 50 pine wooden pieces. All of these are custom profiles and I have created them by myself. If you don't know, if you are not aware of how to creating custom profiles, I have created separate video for that. I will add that one at the end of this video. Alright, let's get started. Open up a new part file. Click part, click OK. And now we have to create 3D sketch using these dimensions before creating this structure. So in order to do that, first of all, click on these three plane, pressing Ctrl and click visible. All these three plane are visible. Now select top plane and from the pop-up menu select create new sketch. Now the top plane become parallel to computer screen. Click on center rectangle under rectangle toolbar and create center rectangle. Alright, click OK. Before that you have to do just one thing. Make sure the units are millimeter, grams and seconds. I will change it to millimeter, grams and second. Once I change it, the sketch will exit. You have to come back to sketch again. Click on millimeter, gram, seconds. Now you have exited the sketch. Now click on the sketch again, click on edit. Go to dimensions, make these dimensions from center of this leg to center of this leg 1800, and press Ctrl 7 just to see the orientation. Press Ctrl 8, make sketch parallel to computer screen. I would rather make this length 1000 and let's make this length 1800 just to have the right orientation, and click OK. Now exit the sketch. Press Ctrl 7 to go to isometric view. Now you can see the top plane, the sketch is created. Now we have to create another sketch away from this top sketch 750 millimeter to the height of the table. So for that, go to features, click on geometry, click on plane and then click top plane. Now the height is 750, make it 750, the offset distance 750. Click outside the box. Now you can see the plane is offsetted above the top plane. So I will make it downwards by flipping offset and click OK. Now select the plane you created and click on new sketch. Now the sketch is going to be created on the new plane that you have created. So you can either press Ctrl 8 to make the sketch to parallel to computer screen, or otherwise you can just be at Ctrl 7, which is isometric view. I will leave it as isometric view and go to convert entities. I'm going to convert all these four segments that we have created at the first sketch and click OK. Now all these four segments are projected onto the new plane, which is the new sketch. Now exit the sketch. Now we have created two 2D sketches. Now it is time to add some 3D segments. Go to sketch, under the sketch command, under drop down list click 3D sketch. Now you are in the 3D sketch environment. You can see this is the 3D prefix is in front of the 3D sketch. Let's create a line. Click on line and click on this point, and if you use 3D sketch command, you can use tab to swap between the planes. You can make it on XY plane or XZ plane or XZ plane. But now when you have point to click, you really don't have to worry about the plane or anything. You just need to click on this point and you can click on this point. First line is created. Click on the line again and click on this point and click on this point. Right click and click on select. Again click on line, click on this point and this point. Create one more segment. Click on this point and click on this point. Now we have created 4 segments using 4 legs segment using 3D sketch. Exit the sketch. Now mainly we have created the 3D sketch and 2D sketches enough for those 4 legs and the frame. Now we have to create one more sketch for the tabletop structure. So we will create this sketch on the top plane. Click on top plane and create new sketch. Press Ctrl 8 to make the screen parallel to computer screen. Now let's create a sketch which is similar to these dimensions. I'm going to use 50 by 25 members around this tabletop, and from here to here it is 2400. So I'm going to minus 50 so that these members will be on their center line. So it would be 2350. So let's create the sketch first and go to dimensions. Make this dimension 2350. Once you add member 50 by 25, so it will add 25 on either side. It will make 2400. Click OK. I'm using this 2400 by 1200, which is the standard size of the tabletop. You can easily buy that standard size fine laminated tabletop for this type of frame, this size of frame. So now 2350 the length, and the width you can make it 1200 minus 50, that means 1150. Now you have created the outer frame. Now let's create those inner members. So in order to do that, draw a line which is 275 from the center line to here, which usually comes exactly on top of this line. I have created the members using those dimensions. So this one 275 to 275. So now let's create 1, 2, 3, 4 members using sketch pattern, linear sketch pattern command with 450 millimeters. So it will create 4 members and the last member would be on top of this line. That's how I have calculated these members. So go to linear sketch pattern and you have to select this entity patterns, and for the direction you have to select Z direction. So I will select this direction, and for the number of segments you have to make it 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, including this one, 5 of them. And for the space you have to make it 450 members. For the direction, you have to make it, you can clear this one, clear the section, you can make it this direction. For the members, just delete this one and just delete, the line is already selected. For the direction, you have to select this line, and for the spacing you can swap the direction. Now you can see 5 members are created with 450 millimeters. Click OK. Now exit the sketch and Ctrl 7 to isometric view. Now mainly you have created the 3D and 2D sketch to build this main structure. Now let's add structural members using Weldment command manager and using structural member command. When I click on this structural member, you will notice on this design tree there are 2 features are added. One is cut list, the other one is Weldment feature. Let's see how it is gonna happen. Click on structural member, and from the structural member property manager you have to make 3 selections. The first one is standard, type and size. As I mentioned before, this is custom standard. I have created custom profiles, so I have saved it under wood. The type is pine, and the size, let's create the leg first, 75 by 75. After selecting the leg, the size, then let's select the sketch segment members for us to create the 4 legs. When you click on each segment, you can see under the group which is added, 4 segments are added. Now the 4 legs are created. You do not need to make any changes of the rest of the settings. Then click OK. Before you click OK, click on this pin icon to keep this structural member property manager visible. Now click OK. Let's move on to the next member, which is 25 by 100. Wood standard is the same, type pine is the same. For the size, let's select 25 by 100. For the 25 by 100, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members. Actually, I have missed this center sketch segment when I create the sketch. I apologize for that. You can add this the center sketch segment when you create your sketch. Let's select the members belongs to 25 by 100. Now it is created. For this one, actually we have to do some changes, some more further modification using structural member property manager. The first one is to locate the profile. You can see now this is only halfway up, halfway down. So we have to bring this member all the way down to flush with the top of the legs. In order to do that, we have to select the profile pierce point for the profile. By default, the pierce point is the origin of the sketch, that when you create your profile, but you have the capability of adding further piercing point at the time of you are creating the profile. So now I have added one at the top center, so we can select this point. In order to do that, you have to use locate profile command under structural member property manager. When you click on this locate profile command, it will zoom in this profile for you to select the piercing point. So when you click on this locate profile, you can see this is zoom in. You can clearly and easily pick the piercing point. Now it is flush with the top surface of the legs. Now again you can see there are some intersections. We do not need this intersection part for the table, so we have to modify this. Let's modify this using trim and extend command, which I will do later in the next step. So in order to do that, let's click OK and click OK. Oops. Now let's click on trim extend command. Using trim extend command, you can simply trim all these members off so that it will flush correctly with the leg. So in order to do that, here we have got two boxes. So this is the bodies to be trimmed. All the members you have to trim, add to this box, and trimming boundary you have to add into this box. So all the bodies to be trimmed are these 4 members, and trimming tool is 4 legs. Once you select these 4 legs as trimming tools, you can see all these parts, intersecting parts are trimmed, and these 4 members are going to be kept without any changes. So let's click OK for this dialog box. Trim and extend property manager, all seems good, click OK and press Ctrl 7. Now it is the last member that we have to add, which is 750 by 25 for the top frame as a support of the top surface of the table. So let's go to structural member property manager again. Standard is the same, type pine, size has to be 25 by 50. Now here you have to learn, you can learn one more thing about groups. When you start selecting sketch segments, you cannot select all the sketch segments at once. You can select either parallel members to each other or contiguous members to each other. Those are only 2 groups that we can add to Weldment structural member property manager. I will show how it is going to happen. Let's start picking the sketch segments. Then you can see the group is added, and you can add all these 4 contiguous members which are connected each other in this way. So the first group is selected for sketch segment. If you try to select the other sketches, you cannot, because it belongs to a new group. Before I start selecting those members, I will do one more changes. Here we have to do one more changes to the members. You can see you have to rotate the profile in 90 degrees. In order to rotate the profile in 90 degrees, you have to use this box, degrees, angle. So now you make sure you are in the group 1. Group 1 is selected, and over here, before that I will show you actually how to add the next group. Now first group is created, and go to new group, and now you can start picking the other members to the new groups. 5 members. Make sure you are click on this area. If you click here, it will select, it will pick different sketch. So this one, if you click here, you can pick the right sketch segment. All are selected. Now let's see how we can do the further modification. We have to rotate this profile as well. But before that, let's start with group 1. Click on group 1. Once you click on group 1, you can see it is highlighted in like light yellow color. So now you know all the changes you are going to do apply onto this particular group. So let's scroll down and go to angle, change this to 90 degrees and click on display area. You can see it is already rotated. Now it is time to do the corner treatment. So sometimes you will end up having this type of corner treatment. You can use these commands to change the corner the way you want. If you want this type of butt, you can select this one. You can, if you want to swap that, you can do like this. But for this one I will use miter command, miter ends. So all 4 corners would be similar to this. And now let's move on to the next group. In order to move on to the next group, you have to click on this. Now you can see the next group is highlighted, and scroll down. We have to rotate the member. Use this box and enter 90. Click outside profile area. It is rotated. Now press Ctrl 7, and all the structural members are added using Weldment feature according to these drawings. Click OK. Previously when I click OK, there was some error, rebuild error, ignore that, is not usual thing. You will not have any problem with that. Now it is the last item, which is the tabletop. Here is the thing, you can add tabletop by creating an assembly and adding this part file into the assembly and creating a tabletop as a new part, or you can simply add the tabletop as another extrusion onto the same weldment part file. If you add as another extrusion, you have to create a part using that extrusion so that you can create a drawing. I will show you how to do that. In order to add tabletop, click extrude base command and you have to select the sketch plane. I will select this top surface or top plane. Now press Ctrl 8 to make the sketch plane parallel to computer screen. I will simply use convert entity command and I will project all these outer edges to the screen. Press Ctrl 7. Now you can see four outer segments of the table are projected onto the sketch plane, and click OK. Now go to features. You can either exit the sketch or just simply select extrude. So usually the dimension of this MDF board pine tabletop standard size 2400 and 1200, and the thickness is like 18 and 19 millimeter. I will add 19 millimeter and click OK. You have to make sure the direction. If you just flip this one, you can see it's moving up and down. So this is the right extrusion direction, and click OK. There you go. Now you can see all these members are added to complete the table. Now press Ctrl 7. You have to do one more thing. You have to define the material. So for all this structure, remember when I created the profile, I defined the material for that custom profiles. When you define the material in the custom profile, it will come to the part file by default. But for the extra extrusion, you have to define the material. In order to define the material, you can simply use this command, or otherwise you can create this one as a separate part, then add material to that. I will go to edit material here, and this is wood. Select wood, and this is pine. Apply, close. Alright, the material is added to the table. If you go to part cut list, you can see different cut lists are created. So these four members are for the four legs. These two same size. Just use middle mouse button to rotate, and if you click on this, these two are same size, which is created at one group. If you click on here, these two are created as one single group. Here again, here another group. Those are the groups are created based on the size and the length of the cut list. If you go here, you can see cut list item, extra item, the tabletop. Now press Ctrl 7. Now in order to create a drawing from this tabletop, you have to create this one as a part. In order to do that, you have to use cut list, expand the cut list folder and go to extrude, right click. When you click on right click, you can create insert into new part. When you click insert into new part property manager pops up. So now the name is box extrude. This is the tabletop, and simply you can use the same default template for the part file, and when you click OK, it will be creating as a part at the same location, but here you have to pick one option. The part file template and the default templates are different, so you have to use this part file template. In order to do that, change the unit of the drive part into the unit of the base part. You have to use this one, because if you use this, it will be meter, kilogram and second. So if you use this one, then you have to add the name at the tabletop and click OK. Now the part is created at tabletop. If you measure this one using top evaluation, you can see this one 2400 millimeters. That's mean the units are imported from the base part. If you go back to the table, you can see the unit of the table is also 2400 millimeters. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. You have learned about weldment, adding members and corner treatment and rotating profiles and creating groups. Thank you very much for watching.